All right, welcome to Ringside Report. I'm Dave Simon, and I'm Dave Simon, and I'm in social isolation. What's up, everybody? Live from the Ringside Report Network, home base, the main studio, the hub, the bunker. I'm here, and I'm live, but through the power of technology, thanks to our producer who's with me in-house today, and I might put him on. Oh, there he is. He's with me. We have some magic going on live via satellite. Here, my main man, AJ D'Alessio. What's up, brother?
Hola, amigo. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me, brother?
Clear as crystal, my friend. Clear as crystal.
Oh, this is some wild.
Can you actually see me?
I can see you. We can all see you. The Ringside Report.
Damn, I better go put on some clothes.
The Ringside Report universe.
Better go put some clothes.
Yeah. Make sure you're wearing clothes for our radio audience listening to us on TSN 690. RingsideReport.net is the place you want to be. Go watch our videos. You could watch us right now. AJ's in his home. I'm at my studio, the Ringside Report home base. AJ's having his coffee, and we're going to do the show like this tonight. Freddie, unable to join us. Obviously, there's a lot going on. Freddie's got to deal with some family issues right now, and I told him, look, man, Fred was thinking about doing the show a little bit shorter tonight, trying to figure things out, you know. And I said, look, man, it's a bad time right now. Let's take a break. Fred, why don't you take the night off and deal with your family, because Fred's got, he's got a pregnant girlfriend right now, pregnant with twins. The coronavirus is running wild. So, yeah, man.
Hey, he's a trooper.
We had to give Fred the night off, right, AJ?
He's a total trooper. Thumbs up. He does not have a virus. Don't start any rumors with Freddie. But we'll see him next week.
Yeah, Fred is okay. AJ's like popping and skipping and popping. Your audio's like dropping out here. You're via satellite.
Is it?
Yeah, you were popping a little bit there, AJ. We'll try and get you solid here for the rest of the show. We do have some UFC stuff to talk about. There was a UFC event last Saturday in Brasilia, Brazil. We could talk about that. Dana White also canceling some UFC shows, but is adamant that UFC 249 is going to take place. It's supposed to happen April the 18th in Brooklyn, New York. Oof. I don't think it's going to happen.
Ain't happening.
It's not happening in Brooklyn. I don't see how it's going to happen at all anywhere in the world. I saw Dana White put out on an Instagram a picture of Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov on the moon. And maybe if you hold this fight on the surface of the moon, it might go down. But I don't know, man.
Who knows with him?
Strange times, though, right, my friend? We are usually accustomed to sitting here every week together, right next to each other. But now the recommendation from everybody is stay more than a meter apart. And unfortunately, in our studio, we can't do that. So we're separated, man. I miss you, AJ. I like having you here with me, and it's weird to have you so far away.
We're separated by miles.
Can you believe where we're at right now, AJ? A week removed from where we were last week. Last week we were here talking about what's going to happen next. Maybe there'll be some UFC events canceled. Maybe they'll do things in empty arenas. The plan was for the UFC, they were supposed to be in London on Saturday. They're supposed to be in Columbus, Ohio next Saturday. And the plan for the UFC was, look, we're just going to move these fights to the UFC Apex Center in Las Vegas, and we're going to do them there. But then we heard the news over the weekend. The state of Nevada says, we're not holding any kind of fights. It's just not safe. And then the president of the United States, who's Donald Trump for some reason, he said that more than 10 people shouldn't be grouping in one place, which it makes sense right now with the fear of the coronavirus. We are taking it very seriously. We're not doing the show like we normally do. AJ's at his home. Freddie is taking the night off. We're doing all the shows via satellite this week. Johnny North is going to be joining us via satellite for Wrestling Uncensored this week and Dave and Johnny Live. So we're trying to keep on as normal as possible. But as you can tell, man, nothing's normal anymore. The world has totally changed. It's crazy how last week we were all sitting here together thinking, yeah, we'll see each other next week. Maybe they'll move some fights, but we'll figure it out. Now this week, it's like, no, social isolation, no more fights, nothing's happening. This is a scary time, man, and hopefully we can have some laughs and have some fun over the next hour here, AJ, and bring some levity to the world, because it's a scary place right now.
Dave, listen, it's very simple, man. You know, people need sports. People need things to do. The world needs entertainment. Right now, there's a lack of. And I mean, we were lucky to get a sports show on when all other professional sports were completely stopped. The UFC got lucky with Brasilia. It was a really weird show in a sense. No one in attendance, but they still pulled it off.
What did you think of
Can you hear me, Dave?
Yeah, I can hear you. Maybe you dropped out there for a second. What did you think of UFC Brasilia, the empty arena show from the UFC? I mean, to me, it felt like The Ultimate Fighter, right? Like, it kind of felt like they were in the tough gym. It was quiet, but, you know, there were still fights going on. It's not something that we've never seen before in the UFC. Of course, you know, the Ultimate Fighter gym, it's not a big arena. There are teammates and stuff yelling, but it didn't feel that strange watching UFC Brasilia in an empty arena, because they didn't show the arena that much. They didn't show the empty stands. They focus on the octagon, and when you focus on the octagon, it kind of felt like The Ultimate Fighter to me.
You know what, Dave? I thought it was more than just The Ultimate Fighter. I mean, yes, in a sense, you can say it felt like that, but we knew this is not an Ultimate Fighter, and under the circumstances, you know what? The action was still given. I mean, the card was excellent all the way to the main card with Kevin Lee. They brought out the action, and people were really pumped. For people that missed out that fight, well, that's the end of, like, I guess, fights or live entertainment sports for the next 3 weeks. But I'll tell you one thing. Dana White pulled it off.
Yeah, I think he did. You know, we're still having a couple technical issues there with you, AJ. Hopefully you can get your internet straightened out. Come on, AJ, get it together. He's like snapping, crackling, and popping over here. But, you know, we're trying to make do.
Sounds like a jiu-jitsu class.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds like a jiu-jitsu class.
We're trying to make do. We're trying to make the best out of a bad situation, and that's what the world is trying to do right now. We're trying to figure our way through whatever this is, however long this is going to last. No one really knows. It's hard to tell. The WWE is going to keep moving on. They're doing shows. It's been strange. AEW did an empty arena show as well this week. Weird. WWE is supposed to do WrestleMania in front of the Performance Center there, the empty spot. It's going to be strange.
It's not going to work.
I don't know. We'll talk about it with Johnny North on Wrestling Uncensored this week, and it might be the last Wrestling Uncensored and Ringside Report for a couple of weeks, guys. I'm telling you now, like, I don't know how long this is going to last. I can't really say. You know, what do we do next week, AJ, if there's no MMA? I know
wrestling.
You know, I mean, I guess we'll just talk pro wrestling next week, brother. But, you know, if there's no MMA, Johnny and I think we're going to keep on going with Wrestling Uncensored. I'd like to keep on doing this show as well for as long as we possibly can. But, you know, next week when there's no MMA, there's no UFC to talk about, we're just in week 2 of the cancellation period of the coronavirus beating up the UFC. I don't know, man. I'm at a loss. I'm at a loss for what to do at a time like this. It's you know, the only thing the only thing I know how to do is do this show, right? The only thing I know how to do is come on every week, come on YouTube, talk MMA, talk professional wrestling, and do this show. So I'm trying to maintain some level of normalcy as much as possible, but, you know, I don't know, man. It doesn't feel normal, right?
Listen, nothing's normal at this point. I mean, even, like, if you want to get a good fight in, just go to a toilet paper aisle at the Walmart, and we can report all you want.
Yeah.
Toilet paper fights have been out of control. I'm still confused on that. But this is what it's turned out to in the last 2 weeks. God knows what's going to happen in 2 weeks from now. We're going to start fighting for toothbrushes? I don't know.
I hope not. I hope in 2 weeks from now we can look back on this like it was all a bad dream. But from what I'm hearing and from what I'm seeing, It doesn't feel like that, right? Like, it doesn't feel like, oh, in 2 weeks everything will be kind of back to normal. From what people are saying, it's like, yeah, maybe not, right?
It's like a bad dream of Conor waking up from a choke from Khabib. This is how bad it is.
It is like a bad dream. It doesn't feel real right now. It doesn't feel like this is actually happening. It's hard to grasp. It's hard to figure out. I don't know, man. I'd rather stick with the fighting. At least that we can try and figure out. I'm trying to stay normal. I did jiu-jitsu today. I do jiu-jitsu,
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah, man. I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. You're a jiu-jitsu guy. And, we're hurting, right? The jiu-jitsu community is hurting right now because all the gyms are closed. Your gym's closed, right?
Yeah, all gyms are closed for the time being. I mean, no other than their own home. And you know what? In a way, look, it gives everybody a chance to reflect. I mean, I even sent you a link on John Danaher and people in the community that are sort of giving their money in a sense away for free. They're giving out like links to jiu-jitsu exercises and techniques and whatnot. And that's the beautiful thing about the martial arts community. Mm-hmm. Like, since we're into a cut down, at least we're able to look at techniques from a different perspective. Like for myself anyways, because I don't have that gym in-house like you, Dave. You've got the big bucks.
Yeah, I hooked it up, right? I've got an in-house gym that you could check out. Follow me on Twitter at Dave Simon MMA. Check out my Instagram story at Dave Simon MMA. I posted a couple things just to kind of show people what you can do and what's possible and saying that, hey, man, we're still rolling. We're still doing jiu-jitsu, and we're trying to stay as normal as possible. We're trying to stay in shape. We're trying to stay sharp. I mean, so many jiu-jitsu guys right now, so many fighters are out there with no places to train, and they're just getting soft. They're not staying sharp. And I know, for myself, I don't like to kind of sit on the couch for too long. I don't like to stop the martial arts progression, right? And I know that a lot of friends and a lot of viewers and listeners of this show are in the same boat. We're frustrated right now because we don't have our jiu-jitsu, we don't have our Muay Thai, we don't have our wrestling clubs, we don't have our boxing clubs. We don't have that outlet, that martial arts that we need, that we can go and use right now. And especially at a time like this when it's so stressful, everybody's freaking out, nobody knows what's going on. A lot of us out there really need that martial arts, really need that release. And unfortunately, the gyms are all closed, so it's tough, and you got to do what you can do right now. Try to do some solo drills. Try to do as much shadow boxing as you can. Look in the mirror. Do some boxing in the mirror. If you have somebody that that's close to you, that's safe. Somebody in your close circle. Like for me, I don't know what you're doing, AJ. Let's talk about it a little bit. For me, I'm socially isolating, right? That's what everybody's telling us to do. You socially isolate. So you limit your time outdoors, right? You stay at home pretty much, and you limit the amount of people that you see. So for myself, I'm seeing only the most essential people that I need to see in my life, my immediate family. So, my girlfriend, my son, obviously they live with me. I can't get away from those two, right? Those savages. And then, right? But I got my parents, my dad, my mom, and my brother. And that's it. And, of course, my girlfriend's parents as well. But that's it, right? That's where we kind of draw the line. It's immediate family, and those are the only people that I'm allowing into my home. Those are the only people that we're really seeing and interacting with. I'm very lucky because one of my main sparring partners is my brother. So because he's already in my circle, because I've been able to see him, I saw him last week. I rolled with him last Thursday, rolled with him again today, so if he had the corona, if he's got the rona,
you're screwed.
He already gave it to me, so I got the rona, right? So that's the kind of thing we're talking about. The small circle. So, AJ, if your girlfriend, if she has the rona, you're living with her, you got the rona too, right? So that's kind of the deal right now. You got to keep those social
I'm out the
circles.
door.
Hey, well, yeah. If she's got the rona, you're leaving with the newborn too. You're a good man, AJ. Jeez. So what I'm saying is you got to keep that circle really small. So I'm very lucky because I have a brother who's in my circle, who's also one of my main sparring partners. So I went out 3 days ago at Walmart, I saw this coming. The gyms are closing. You know, my gym closed until I think the 30th of March, and then they're going to reevaluate, but who knows, right? So I said, look, I'm not going to go weeks and weeks without doing jiu-jitsu. I go to Walmart. I get those. Bro, I bought a bunch of those packs. I bought 6 packs.
I thought you had toilet paper.
No. I already had toilet paper. I'm good on toilet paper, okay? Don't hoard toilet paper, by the way, people. There's people out there that need it. And if you really have a problem with toilet paper, just buy a bidet or something if you really have an issue, okay? That's beyond the point. But I bought 6 packs of those puzzle mats, right? You know those thin puzzle mats, right?
How much?
They're $13 a pack, and they come. So I bought 6 of them. So it still cost me, it wasn't cheap. It was like $80, $90. But my whole living room, I got a big living room, a lot of space with big windows. We crack a window. I put the whole living room down with mats. We rolled today. We did jiu-jitsu with the window open, with the Brazilian favela music playing. It felt great, man.
Wow.
I'm telling you, it felt great. We had a great roll, a great session. My living room, the dimensions of
I'm jealous.
It's like a boxing ring. It's roughly the size of a boxing ring. So I had no trouble at all rolling today and doing jiu-jitsu. But I prepared for this. I'm very lucky because I have a sparring partner who's in my small social circle. But,
You're lucky, man.
I'm very lucky, and I'm very happy, and I count myself lucky that I have my brother able to come and roll and do some jiu-jitsu. And AJ, in a couple weeks' time when everything settles down, you could come over and do some jiu-jitsu as well. But right now, we're socially isolating, so we got to do what we got to do, right? We gotta figure it out. And I've got my martial arts plan. I'm trying to stay sharp, stay in shape too, because exercise makes us feel so good, right? Exercise is really good for the mind and really good for the body. So you got to exercise during this period. Try and
exercise is medicine.
Exactly. Do whatever you can do. You sent me that free link, which where was that? What's the website? BJJ Fanatics. Right?
BJJ Fanatics, and
good on them.
There's all kinds of great videos.
Great videos, but good on them. You sent me the link. I'll give them a shout out because I think it's great what they did at BJJ Fanatics.
Well, John Danaher.
Was it John Danaher himself who did that?
BJJ Fanatics and John Danaher, who gave the video, the links for free, because like I was saying earlier, it costs money for the guy, but the guy went out of his heart, in a sense, to say, you know what, people are going to be back home. Let me send out this link, and this link is basically training at home. So, kudos to John Danaher and BJJ Fanatics.
Yeah, you sent me the link. It's a whole series of solo Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu drills that you can do at home by yourself to kind of drill some certain techniques and certain movements. John Danaher put it out there for free because of this whole coronavirus epidemic. So shout out to John Danaher, who's a brilliant jiu-jitsu mind. Shout out to BJJFanatics.com. Go download that thing. I downloaded it. I'm very happy with it. And I'm really, I'm happy for all the people out there that are giving away free content right now. Shout out to all the people giving away free content. A lot of people had things behind a paywall, but now everybody's staying home. Everybody knows that you need something to watch. I know Colt Cabana, who's a big inspiration to me. I love Colt Cabana. He put out his Wrestling Road Diaries on his Patreon for free. That's like a 2-hour documentary with Daniel Bryan back before he was in WWE. Really good stuff. All the people I'm seeing out there putting out free content, giving us some
like
extra
in Italy
stuff. Whatever you can do, it's good to help out right now because it's tough times for everybody.
Well, in Italy, they're thanking Pornhub for giving content for free now. I don't know if you heard about that.
Wasn't Pornhub always free?
No, man.
What?
Not that I would know. But in Italy, it's free.
I thought it was
at the current moment.
What are you talking about? I don't want to give anybody any.
No, in North America.
Isn't it free here?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody pays for.
I guess selected videos. I'm telling you, Freddie. Where's Freddie when we need him?
Fred would know this. Fred would know this.
Fred would know this.
Like, not because he's like a big fan, but just he knows things. He's a worldly individual, right? He's smart. He's a smart guy.
He's a scholar.
He is. We miss Fred big time. We miss all of you. Like, the chat right now for the show, AJ, dead. Nobody's on the chat. Nobody, like, I don't know what everybody's doing right now. I think everybody's watching the news. It's crazy right now. Like, times are tough. I think people figured we weren't going to do a show because, there's no UFC going on. I'm telling you.
Good point.
It's quiet out there. It's like a ghost town. Everywhere you go, there's nobody. It feels like Christmas, but there's no presents at the end of it. It sucks, man. Like, it feels like Christmas, but there's no presents, and the only thing you might get is really sick. This sucks, dude. Doesn't this suck?
That's not Christmas, bro. Like, that's not Christmas at all.
I'm gonna say
that's a nightmare.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, okay? I think coronavirus sucks. I think it's the worst.
That's it, Dave.
You know
what? Spill it out, man.
I'm gonna say Nazis, coronavirus, and
toilet paper,
shark attacks. Worst things ever. Boo.
No. Worst. No, Dave. The worst is. Cool, I guess. No, sharks are cool. Baby shark. Baby shark. Baby shark. Right. Listen, you know what? What I told you earlier is the worst is the toilet paper aisle at that's where you can practice your jiu-jitsu starting tomorrow.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do jiu-jitsu with people that you don't know because they might have coronavirus. You got to socially isolate, bro.
Man, it's all about the toilet paper.
This is what I'm saying. So what are you doing? How many people are you seeing every day? What's your life like?
Me, I'm seeing no one. I'm a germphobe, man. I'm a total germphobe. When you do jiu-jitsu or any form of grappling, you get nervous about diseases. Expect to catch a couple in your career or anything else that's weird. You want to stay away from viruses. So I'm not going to no Walmart.
So
no offense to Walmart. I like them.
Who are you seeing? You got your girlfriend, you got the kids at home, right? Anybody else? You seen your mom? Your dad?
Well, I'm going to go see my mom. Yeah, my mom. Okay. How can I not see an Italian mom? That's right. Tough. Coronavirus or not, my friend. That's a tough one.
What about...
what do you think? How about you think about it?
What about your brother and sister? Are you seeing them?
No, quarantined.
Yeah, self-isolation.
My sister is involved with the school boards and things like that, and she's strict when it comes to that. She's taking this serious.
Good. We should all be taking it.
And she told me,
everybody needs to stay home right now. You all need to be watching Ringside Report. You all need to be watching Wrestling Uncensored. We're gonna try and do as many shows for you here to entertain you and keep you informed as to what's going on in MMA and professional wrestling over the next few days and over the next few weeks. Who knows what's going to go on, man? Who knows what's going to go on? There's no UFC, though, AJ. There's no UFC until at least April 18th. Dana White says
that's crazy.
UFC 249 is happening. How is UFC 249 going to happen? What is he talking about?
Can you see me what I'm wearing? Can you see what I'm wearing? This was supposed to be for our St. Patrick's show that obviously really didn't take. Well, we're doing it today. It's the same thing. This will be our St. Patrick's show. But listen to this, Dave. Think about the fighters that are on the roster for the UFC that are not going to be fighting in the next 3 cards. I mean, how are these fighters going to stay shape ready? I mean, they're going to go old school, back in their home gyms, practicing alone. I mean, because you can't have your coaches, you can't have your therapists and all the rest. I mean, it's serious. So, there's going to be a lot of changes in who's going to be at the top in the UFC in the months to come, because this is going to take fighters.
There is an MMA show happening this weekend. Did you know that?
No, they canceled that one.
Cage Warriors?
Oh, Cage Warriors. No, that the one in New Jersey?
No. Nothing's happening in New Jersey. There's something happening. It's going to be behind closed doors. No fans, nobody there, but they're doing a Cage Warriors show.
Where?
This weekend. I think it's in
I thought it was in New Jersey.
No.
It's overseas.
Yeah.
Look, Dave.
It's in Europe. I don't know why they're doing this, but it is
I think it's going to get canceled. Look, we're Thursday today. There's a lot of hours between now and that fight.
Manchester. This fight is supposed to happen in Manchester tomorrow. So it's going down, man. They did the weigh-ins.
Look,
they did staggered weigh-ins. They did weigh-ins they did 3 separate weigh-ins so that they could limit the amount of people in one room at once, right? So they took a few.
Well, that's interesting.
3 separate weigh-ins, staggered throughout the day so that they could get this thing done. This fight is actually going to take place on UFC Fight Pass tomorrow afternoon from
So I'm going to watch it.
England. Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
I'll be watching it. So there we go. We'll talk about exactly
Warriors?
this UFC Fight Pass.
It's
sure. Why not,
Warriors, dude? I don't know, man. It's strange.
Why don't you do?
This is strange,
Dave,
man. Like the UK is locked down. I mean, not fully locked down, but like they're having trouble. England is not ready for this. I don't understand why Cage Warriors is doing a show in Manchester tomorrow. It seems a little bananas. But hey, Dana White wanted to do a show in London. The only reason that the UFC is not in London this weekend is because, the U.S. government said, hey, don't travel anywhere. And then the British government and the London mayor was like, no, we're not having any events. That's crazy. What are you talking about?
So how do they pass this one then? It doesn't make sense.
Manchester, man, I don't know. Well, look, a big problem with the UFC was, a lot of their fighters, like Tyron Woodley's was supposed to main event this fight on Saturday, right? Tyron Woodley's American. Yep. He's not going to London, right? He can't go to London. And then if they were going to move the fight over to the U.S. in Vegas, like they were trying to do, they're trying to do it in. They had a reservation, like an indigenous. I'm not sure what to call these things anymore. I don't know. Indigenous reservation place where they were in Oklahoma, where they were going to do the UFC Fight Night on Saturday. But then when Trump said, "Look, no more than 10 people," the UFC said, "Okay, we're not going to do any events for 3 weeks, but we're still doing Khabib and Tony Ferguson somehow." So.
Doesn't make sense.
I don't really understand how Cage Warriors is doing a fight this weekend, but they are. The UFC, thankfully, is not. They're not going to do anything until April 18th, which, how? I don't know. We can talk about that, AJ. I want to talk about that. We've been going on for a little while. We should probably take a little commercial break for the radio side and then come back and no.
Hey.
No,
but Dave, just quickly before you go to commercial.
Yeah,
that would be a great opportunity tomorrow to do a watch along if this fight actually takes place. It would be great. We could do a watch along. Why not?
Let's do a watch along for something else, something that people will actually.
There ain't gonna be nothing.
AJ, take it easy. Let's talk about this stuff off the air, bro.
I'm bored, man.
I know. So am I. Corona sucks.
It does suck.
I hate you so much.
I like to rear naked choke you, buddy.
Yeah,
you, the Ryers.
Yeah, if the Rona was a man, I would crush him to death.
Right in the testicles.
My main man just walked in here.
Who's that? The little guy?
Part of my social isolation. Yeah, the little guy's here too.
The little boss.
The little boss, the big boss.
Hey, Zevi. Love you. Love you, Zevi.
All right, AJ, let's take a commercial break. This is one of the weirdest episodes of Ringside Report ever. AJ's via satellite. I'm in the Ringside Report studio. We've barely talked about any kind of fights, and AJ and I have agreed on pretty much everything so far, so I don't know what's happening.
Oh, my God, that's true.
Huh?
What the heck?
And he's
that's scary.
AJ's looking right into the camera, and he's on mic somehow. It's like you're.
That's crazy.
I think you should do the show from home forever.
Put me in a closet here.
Yeah, when everything's good, Fred will come back, Johnny will come back, but you will stay via satellite forever, AJ. That way I can turn you off. I can get rid of you a lot easier that way, eh? It's
what?
Easier.
That's not cool.
Yeah, look.
That's not cool.
Watch this. You're gone now. Now it's just me. AJ's gone. I just got rid of him. He can still hear me. I see him over there on the side screen. I see him. He can still hear me. But he can't. You can't hear him because I cut him off. Isn't that beautiful? We should really keep AJ on just like a via satellite basis permanently. Hey AJ, what do you think about that, brother?
That's not. What's going on?
All right.
Can you hear me?
We're gonna take our commercial break here for the radio side. We're gonna come back.
That sucks.
We're going to talk about MMA. We're going to try and figure out where the UFC could possibly have UFC 249. And are Tony Ferguson and Khabib still training? Because if they're going to fight in 3 weeks, they still need to be in training camp. So we'll get to that and more when we come back.
Walmart.
It's Ringside Report. Stay with us. I've been told we're not doing any ads. We're not doing any ads. Doesn't matter. What?
Next
Why not?
Next time.
It's a good time.
We got to go, man. We're really short on time. It's a crazy time in the world, bro. Are you scared? I'm a bit scared. Should we be scared?
Read this. Help.
What is it? I can't read.
Dave, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Why are you writing help?
Those are the messages we're going to send out soon, man. I need toilet paper.
Alex Terrace says AJ is the man. AJ's number one. He's AJ's biggest fan. Thank you.
Hey, Alex, I love you.
And Tristan says, you guys are awesome. Great work. Stay safe, guys. Thank you, Tristan. Thank you for watching,
Thanks,
everybody.
Tristan.
Everybody that's watching right now, thank you very much for watching. I know this is a tough time. We're all going through it right now.
Crazy.
Let's stay together as a Ringside Report universe, all right? AJ, let's get back to
let's
the
keep
show.
us entertained, you know?
That's right. Let's get back to it.
Hey, Dave. Okay, all right, let's do it.
All right, welcome back. This is Ringside Report. I am Dave Simon, and AJ DeLesio is joining me here via satellite. RingsideReport.net is our website. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/RingsideReport.net. Go there, watch all our shows. You can see so much that we do. Johnny North and I will be back for Dave and Johnny Live this week. It'll be a shortened edition of Dave and Johnny Live, though. It's going to be the state of the Wrestling Uncensored Ringside Report universe. I can't read what you're writing on the screen there, AJ. I don't know what you're doing.
I said Corona sucks. I thought you could see it.
Corona definitely sucks. So Johnny's going to be with me. We're going to do a state of the universe, try and figure out how everybody's doing. I want to get everybody on the chat for the Dave and Johnny Live. So if you guys are watching now live on YouTube, if you're listening to us on the radio, I want you on the chat for the Dave and Johnny Live. I want to know how you're coping with coronavirus, with COVID-19, with all this BS that we have to go through. This really sucks. I wish we had better nerds. That's my statement, all right? I wish our nerds were better.
What?
Yeah, because if we had better nerds in the world, like, we're dumb fight guys. We know how to choke people unconscious. We got big, strong arms. That's about our level of expertise. But the nerds of the world, the smart guys, the Poindexters, the guys with the science backgrounds, those guys are letting me down big time right now. Where's the cure? Get it together. I don't know why. I mean, everybody knew that this was bad in China. Everybody knew this was bad in Italy. And now all of a sudden it's coming to North America and we don't have a cure. Get it together, nerds. I just want my nerds to get it together. Like, I don't understand, man. I'm here. I'm an expert in my field. If a nerd came up to me and said, who's going to win, Khabib or Tony? I'd say, obviously, Tony. Beat it, nerd. But
no way, man. No way.
Shut up, AJ. But then I'd say, hey, nerd, do you have a cure for Corona? And they'd be like, I don't have a cure for Corona. I'm like, look, man, I'm doing my part. I told you Tony Ferguson's going to win. I told you Zhang Wei Li by decision. We all cashed in. We all made money. I told you John Jones by decision. We all cashed in. We all made money. I'm doing my part. Let's go, science nerds. Let's go, doctors. Let's solve this thing.
Bravo, Dave. That was excellent. But the only sad part, there's a lot of nerds that do jiu-jitsu.
That's true. Well, I mean, they get a pass because, they know jiu-jitsu. At least they're doing something right. Come on.
Or the Karate Kid. You remember that? He was a nerd.
So, AJ,
tell me, Dave.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is still training.
Mm-hmm.
He is the only one allowed to train at the American Kickboxing Academy right now in San Jose, California. California is in a really bad spot. I saw... Who's Gavin Newsom? Is he the governor of California now? What's his deal? Eh? Hey, you watch Bill Maher, producer. Gavin Newsom. Who's that guy? He's the governor of California, right? That guy, I want to call a pendejo, but I will not call a pendejo. All right? Real handsome fellow with like a slick back hair, Schwarzenegger was a better.
He's a slick, handsome pendejo.
Yeah, he's a slick, handsome. He's like Miguel Felix Angel Gallardo. Miguel Angel. Anyways. Narcos Mexico, bro. If you're looking for something to binge, I suggest you watch Narcos Mexico. It's my favorite show. Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo. I love that guy. Anyways, so this governor of California, he says that 51% of Californians are going to get the coronavirus. 51%? Yo, that's a lot of Californians. So it's bad in California. Khabib is there right now. He's training. He's the only one allowed to train at American Kickboxing Academy because they need to keep Khabib safe because as far as we know, as far as Dana White is saying, the Khabib Nurmagomedov Tony Ferguson fight is still happening April 18th. UFC 249 is still intact. What? Now,
look,
Ali Abdelaziz is the manager of Khabib, and he says this fight could take place in Africa. Imagine where we are when we're trying to avoid viruses and disease by moving a fight to Africa.
Ebola.
Well, that's it. I mean, there's so many crazy things that come out of Africa. You got to get shots if you want to go there. If you're a North American guy, right? If you're a Canadian guy and you say, oh, I'm taking a trip to the Sahara or whatever, Africa, right? You got to take some shots to make sure you don't get bad diseases, right? Now the UFC is like, yo, it's too many bad diseases here in North America. We're going to move this fight to Africa. It's like, what? What's happening? Now, this is just a rumor right now that they might move the fight to Africa. I don't know where in Africa they can move it because it feels like even in Africa, there's coronavirus. It feels like in so many places, there's coronavirus. I've heard in Russia, maybe it's not so bad. I have heard that, which is kind of weird because Russia has a gigantic border with China. Very strange. Don't understand why that's going on, right? Kind of weird. How come Russia's not having a lot of cases? Are they not reporting?
Because they got Fedor.
Because Fedor
stops everything.
Putin just stands at the border and is just like, no corona.
With his shirt off.
Yeah.
On a horse.
Shirt off, and Corona's like, okay, sorry, Vlad. Sorry, bro. Even coronavirus is scared of Vladimir Putin, right? So crazy. So
that's true.
Maybe they move the fight to Moscow. You know, I don't know. But do you believe Dana White when he says this fight, UFC 249, is happening? He's telling everybody. He's like, media, fans, whatever, don't bet against me. Are you going to bet against me? Don't bet against me. I'm Dana White. I always make things happen. And you know you don't want to bet against Dana White. Look, my pockets aren't deep enough to bet against Dana White. Dana White bets a prelim entire card salary on one hand of blackjack. Dana White's got money. You understand what I'm saying? Dana White spends what he spends on a whole UFC pay-per-view card on one night of blackjack. Facts, bro. You know he bets like 10 grand a hand at least.
He's crazy, but he's got the money, man.
You know, fighters make 10 and 10. You know, fighters make 10 grand in the UFC. This guy's the president. He's betting 10,000 at blackjack. Hey, whatever. He's a multi-millionaire.
Dave, he makes
hundreds of millions. It is what it is. But
he makes more money. He makes more money than Don King ever made. I mean, this man is like the most successful promoter ever.
Will you take the bet?
Yeah.
If Dana
I would take the bet.
Dana says, 50 G's, baby, right? 50 G's, Dana says. I mean, we don't have the 50 G's to put up, but let's say we did. Would you bet that UFC 249 is not happening? Because Dana says it is. Don't bet against him.
Look, Dave, it's very possible with Dana. Dana's Mr. Impossible that makes it possible. He's done that so many times. When Dana speaks, Dana delivers. If anybody's able to pull off this event, he can. And you know why? That's why they've got that the Performance Center. And someone said, if Dana's able to pull it off, he can do it in his backyard, wherever he lives. He's got acres and acres, and he has a full octagon there. He could do it.
No, you know why?
Dana could be the man.
Because Dana lives in the state of Nevada. Dana lives in Nevada. And in the state of Nevada, they do not allow fights to happen right now. The commission says no. Now, here's the difference between the WWE. WWE is not a real sport. UFC is. UFC needs...
Ooh, blasphemy.
Well, I mean, come on. UFC needs an athletic commission to sanction the event and be present, right? The WWE is a show. It's entertainment. Look, the guys are athletes. You know what I'm saying, AJ, okay? Everybody knows how much I love pro wrestling. I'm wearing a Kevin Owens shirt right now. Everybody knows that I'm the #1 fan of pro wrestling, okay? We'll talk about Wrestling Uncensored a little bit later on.
True.
But let's just say that the WWE, they have an advantage. AEW, they have an advantage. They can run anywhere they want in an empty building as long as they have cameras and ways to broadcast, just like us. We can run as long as we have the capabilities, as long as we have the technology, we can continue to run our shows. We don't need La Régie or the Athletic Commission present to do our thing. Dana does. So he not only needs to find a building that's willing to have him, he needs to find an athletic commission that's willing to sanction these fights. And I think you'd be hard-pressed to find an athletic commission anywhere in the world that'll sanction a fight on April 18th.
But Dave, correct me if I'm wrong. But the thing with Tony Ferguson, as a U.S. citizen right now, there's a no-flight zone in and out. The problem is, if that's not lifted before April 18th, there's no fight to wants to have this fight take place. But listen to this. This is my prediction, and I predicted this a long time ago. Like almost, I'd say about 6 months to 8 months ago, I said it. I said if this fight doesn't be so cursed, and this would be the 5th time, there's one guy that's going to step in that can pull it off. And if they can do a fight in Manchester, they'll do a UFC step in. Khabib versus Conor McGregor. And I said it, and that's why I'm wearing green. That's going to happen. And I'm telling you, that's going to happen. This is exactly, this is Dana White and making Leprechaun. He was waiting for this to happen. The guy pulled it off, and I'm telling you, Conor's going to step in.
AJ,
I know, man. It sounds crazy, but it might happen.
You can't hold a Conor McGregor fight in an empty arena, bro. You know how much money you're going to lose? It's ridiculous. No.
Think about the worldwide pay-per-view sales. It's going to go through the roof.
So you think...
Trust me.
Here is your theory. Your theory is they can't do the fight in the United States, so they have to move it overseas. And because the Cage Warriors event is going through in Manchester, England, you think the UFC might be able to go to Manchester too, and that they could bring Khabib there because he's European, he's from Russia, from Dagestan, so they could get him out of the country.
Back door.
Who says UK is going to even let Khabib in the country? I don't know. And then you get Conor.
Why not?
Also, Conor has to get into the country. He's in Dublin, which, as you know, AJ, I know we have to explain it to you every time this comes up. Ireland is not in the UK. Just so you know, it's 2 separate things, okay? So, Conor, you know, it's not that easy for him to just jump over to Manchester, England, right? So he's still across the border.
But it can happen in Russia. I mean, I didn't say that.
Oh, you have, though, in the past.
Sorry, Wally.
So you
listen, hear me out, but it's a strong possibility.
I think you're dreaming. Look, you want to hear my dream? They can't do it in the U.S. because, you know, Donald Trump fired all the disease people, so now everybody's got the disease, you know? Like, they're not prepared.
Hey, don't blame Trump.
Okay, take it easy. I'm not blaming Trump. I'm just saying, oh, man, it doesn't look good in the United States right now. And I think we may have our thing together a little bit better in Canada. I think we're more proactive here in Canada than the United States. I think we're taking this more seriously in this country, and we also have a smaller population, so that helps as well, right? Smaller population in a very spread out place. Canada is one of the biggest countries in the world as far as land, but we only have about 30 million people. So that kind of works to our advantage when we want to socially isolate. It really does, right? Like the way Canada is kind of built, the fact that we're such a giant country and we have so few people, it kind of works in our favor, right? So I was hoping that
But get back to the fight.
Maybe, I'm getting here. I'm getting there, okay? Maybe Tony and Khabib, you know, they were going to do the fight in Brooklyn. We're not too far away from Brooklyn. Maybe April 18th we'll have everything together, and maybe, just maybe, AJ, I was hoping because I want a happy end to this terrible story.
Tell me.
Maybe Bell Center?
What?
I mean, that'd be sick, no?
That would be crazy.
It's not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen. But a few days ago, I had that thought. I was like, well, if the U.S. really goes bad and they have to leave the country for this fight, maybe Canada will have our act together by April 18th, and maybe we can have fights here. But the way it's looking, doesn't look like April 18th is going to be good. It's going to be the border's closed too, but like there are ways around that. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess we're not
really, Dave.
We're not even letting Americans in, eh? I mean, we close the border to everybody. Like nobody can come in. If you're from China or Italy, obviously you can't come in. Then it was Iran. You can't come in. Now it's like everybody. Americans.
Matt Serra.
What? What's he saying about Matt
Serra?
What about him?
He can't. He's stuck at the border. He can't come to Canada. He can't come and party with the French Canadians.
Yeah, I mean, we'd like to hang out with Matt Serra, but too bad, Matt Serra, you're not allowed in the country. So many people now not allowed in the country, and yeah, that's a good point, man, if we keep our borders closed. But do you really think by April 18th we'll still have the borders closed? I don't know, man.
I think
April
so.
18th?
I mean,
That's
at
a
this
long
rate
time
here,
away.
yeah.
What's
Listen, it's only a month
happening,
away, man. It's 4
This
weeks.
sucks, bro. I don't like this, man.
Listen, it's the curse. Dave, it's the curse, man. That curse with Khabib and Ferguson is not a joke. This is the 5th time, and it's going to happen that this fight is going to be rescheduled. Or like I said, I'm not joking, man. When I said Conor was eventually going to Khabib again, this might be the fight that happens, and it could happen in Russia. And listen, if this fight happens in Manchester and everything goes smooth, I'm telling you, Dana White will be looking at this and saying, you know what? Let's to Manchester. You know what? The fight is going to go on. And it's still going to be a moneymaker.
I like the dropout.
Listen, crazier things have happened.
Sometimes your audio drops out, and at one point there, you're like, I told you before, Conor was going to Khabib again. And I'm like, did he say fight or something else there? What was gonna, I was like, what? Conor's going to what, Khabib again? I just heard the F, and then you dropped out, and I was like, Conor's going to Khabib again. I'm like, he is? What? Oh, my God, Khabib.
Maybe the producer cut it. They're always cutting me off. They're always cutting me off.
Oh, it's your internet connection, bro. You got to get better internet, I think. For the next via satellite show, we need you on better internet connection.
I got to get off this AOL.
Are you still using AOL and Alta Vista to search, bro? Get it together.
Dial up.
AJ's still using Netscape Navigator to do this. Terrible. Terrible. My goodness.
Hey, listen, it's not so bad. It's actually a pretty good show.
We got a message from a Tanya D'Alessio. Shout out to Tanya.
Uh-oh. What does she want?
She says, "Why do I always
My sister."
She says, "Why do I always listen in when the show starts to take a crazy tailspin? You guys are too funny. Thanks for the laughs at a time like this." Well, thank you, Tanya, for watching. And I know you probably get enough of your brother, in real life. And thank you for watching our show here on Facebook, live on YouTube. We're on all the things, on the radio as well. That's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to make sense of this nonsensical world. We're trying to have some laughs. Honestly, for me, it's just nice to kind of touch base with the Ringside Report Network, with the universe, and also to see your face and, talk to you, AJ. It's nice to kind of have a chat with
baby.
Yeah, I love you, brother. It's nice to have a chat with my friend and see your face, because in this social isolation time, man, it gets kind of lonely, right? You're not working. A lot of people aren't working. It's kind of a weird time. Of course, I work in news radio, so I'm constantly working, and it sucks big time. But hey, what are you gonna do, right? So,
haven't they cut back over there as well?
Not on my hours, that's for sure. Anyways, that's another.
No, but I'm saying in general.
That's a story that we cannot talk about on this show. All right, let's not go there at all, AJ. I have stories, but I can't tell them in public because I'll get fired. So although.
Ooh.
Okay.
This is getting good.
Let's not. My producer's saying no. He's telling me to keep my mouth shut, so I probably should.
Dave, is the producer talking about George or your show that you talk about certain things?
Oh, take it easy. I got to cut AJ off again. I'm doing it again. AJ's gone. AJ starts to get a little bit wild, Here's the thing. AJ's at home, right? So AJ feels really comfortable. So AJ's going to start saying things that AJ shouldn't say. That's what's happening right now. So I had to cut him off because I was scared of what was about to happen. AJ, I'm bringing you back, though. Oh, man.
What?
All right, so we're gonna be back next week, AJ. All right, I've had too much fun doing this, and I think the world needs a little bit of fun and a little bit of laughs right now. It's a terrible world right now. It's Dave,
you're awesome, man. You're awesome.
This is as bad as it's ever been, right? I've never seen a worse situation than this in my lifetime.
It's crazy.
AJ, you're super old, so what do you think?
Well, listen, the last time the world has seen something like this is the Spanish flu, which was 1910 or 1908? I forgot. But either or,
and how did
think
your
about
generation survive through that, AJ? Tell us.
You know what? A lot of garlic and wine.
I like that you have an answer for that. I like that you have an answer for that. Fantastic. Fantastic. Well, we're going to be back next week.
Listen.
Okay, we're going to be back. We're going to watch
good.
We're going to watch Cage Warriors. We'll talk about that maybe and see what's going on there. Dana White says the UFC is going to happen on April 18th. We'll see. Look, everything changed from this week to last week, right? Last week to this week, everything's completely different. Last week, I was sitting here with Fred right next to me, you right next to Fred. We're all sitting here together. No one even knew what social isolation was, right? Nobody ever heard that term before. Now it's like, as popular as fake news or, what? Or rhinoceros. It's taken the world by storm, right? And then now it's just a different world that we're living in, right? So we got to deal with it. We got to figure it out, and we're going to keep on doing the show.
Trucking.
As best we can, man. We're going to do this show via satellite for as long as we have to. And eventually, when this social isolation thing dies down, when the 14-day period is over, when we can finally, hopefully, get back to normal life again, whatever that's going to be, I'll see you again in the flesh, man, and I'll give you a big hug. That's enough, though.
That's right. Don't be a rhinoceros. Exactly, Dave. Well said.
Oh, did you see Joanna's face?
Man,
do you see
rhinoceros.
No, but post-fight.
I saw it. She looks like remember that the band troop? She looks like part of that. It's horrendous.
I don't know what you're saying.
Like she looks like Baby Smurf or something. It's ridiculous.
She looks like Justin Trudeau in the 90s.
Ooh, Justin.
Because her face is all blue.
Why, Justin? Why?
Black and blue. Get it? Get it? Boom.
Justin Trudeau. Actually, I saw somebody mentioning that as well. But look how bad it is. That's ridiculous.
Oh, it's bad.
And you know what? That's kudos to Joanna because, to be honest, man, that, like we said last week, or was it the week before, we said that this was probably the best female fight in UFC history.
For sure.
I mean, to top a fight like that is going to be so difficult. But it just goes to show you the caliber of women's MMA. And we keep saying it. It's just growing. It's getting stronger. And you know what? I love Cyborg, and I like to see her come back to the UFC. But these women that fought, man, you weren't even thinking about Cyborg anymore. You're not thinking about Ronda Rousey anymore. You're not thinking about Gina Carano anymore. But we give a lot of respect to those women because they were like sort of the pioneers of MMA.
For sure.
But the female fighters today are unbelievable. Their level of performance has gone through the roof. Yeah, they're dangerous. They could put on a fight.
The game is definitely evolving, and I hope it continues to evolve, right? I hope people can continue to go into gyms and train safely. This is affecting mixed martial arts in a major way. When you can't come close to people, how are you supposed to train? How are you supposed to wrestle? How are you supposed to do jiu-jitsu? How are you supposed to box? How are you supposed to spar, MMA? How are you supposed to do any of these things? It's very difficult. So, I'm wishing all...
My sister would have been good in MMA.
For sure. Better than you, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm wishing all the fighters out there, some safety here, and I hope you guys can, a lot of fighters out there are struggling because they can't make money. With no fights, no money. So, hopefully that
no money, no bones.
Everything's okay, and we can, if there's something that Ringside Report can do, if we can send out some promo for you guys or anything, hit us up at Dave Simon MMA on Twitter or Instagram. Hit me up. You want me to promote something for you? You got a T-shirt you want to sell? I know it's hard times out there for the fighters, and we're here to support fighters, okay? Fighters first. So if you guys need anything from Ringside Report, we're going to continue to broadcast on YouTube. We can promote whatever you want. We know you don't have fights, and that means no paychecks. So, if there's anything that we can do here, we're here for the martial arts community. That's what I feel like we're doing right now. It's a public service for all of martial arts. If you need a gym, if you need some help, if you need some drills, some solo stuff, maybe we can start putting out videos, some instructional videos. AJ, you have any? I know a lot of people are putting out instructional videos. You have any suggestions for people to go check out on YouTube? Maybe some free stuff, that you can do now training?
Well, like I said, BJJ Fanatics is like a fantastic site with like some of the best DVDs out there. Everybody from Galvao, John Danaher, George St. Pierre. I mean, I even saw Fabio Londa from Montreal. I mean, you name it.
It's good stuff.
There's amazing DVDs out there. And you know what? Like, we could put up some links in the days to come of where to go to see some of the best jiu-jitsu, Muay Thai, boxing, whatever it is. We're going to be there to support you. And I think that's fantastic, Dave. And that's the thing with RingsideReport.net.
Hey, what
We are like a show that's dedicated to the fighters, and we're a show dedicated to the fans. And you know what? Dave Simon, like I said, Dave Simon, most people don't know, but Dave Simon has been probably the longest running journalist in MMA in Canada. So Dave looks young, and he started younger. He didn't even have peach fuzz when he started MMA. And you know what? A lot of respect to Dave. And if Dave says he's going to do it, he's going to do it. So if you need support, ringsidereport.net is there to help you.
100%. We've been in this game since 2006, and I'm still 17 years old somehow. So I don't know how that's been.
You look great.
It's crazy. I'm pretty jacked.
Jägermeister. The Jägermeister, man.
Speaking of drinks, what happened to your boy Johnny Walker last weekend, bro?
You know what? Here, let me get you a little. I knew you were going to bring that up. So here's my ringsidereport.net. Technically, we were supposed to have him on the show, but because of the coronavirus, which was kind of stunning, I was kind of surprised he kind of ended that way. Maybe the thing with Johnny is he needs a crowd to motivate him. I've noticed that he needs that crowd. Who knows? It's not the end of Johnny. We're going to see him again. So Johnny Walker, we're not drinking to you this week, buddy.
Yeah,
no
Johnny
drinking
Walker
to you.
Suffering that loss to Nikita Krylov last weekend by decision. Charles Oliveira with a sweet guillotine submission. Kevin Lee jumping in too hard for that single leg, man. You see it all the time, and it happens to me a lot when I kind of bait people. I get in that front headlock position, and I give them my leg to bait them because sometimes, I'm giving away one of my secrets here, okay? So this is one of my guillotine secrets. I get the front headlock position,
but Dave,
and then I'll show my leg so that they stretch out to grab the single leg. When you grab that single, that's when I grab your neck, and that's when I choke you, right? So that's what.
Yeah, but he made a mistake.
Of course, he made a mistake.
But Dave,
he dove in.
But the thing is,
protect his neck when he dove in for a single.
The neck on the outside, he's just giving it. If you're going to go into that, you sort of got to put a shoulder in and put your head on the inside, not on the outside like he did. That's how he got caught. I mean, there's different theories of wrestling, putting your head on the inside, outside on the single. But the truth is, this is MMA. Keeping your head on the outside just opens up for a guillotine.
Yeah.
When you're tired and going into the third round, you're going to get caught. All he had to do was throw his shoulder in, throw his head on the inside, and just basically down. He might have got flipped, but he wasn't going to get caught into a guillotine. Listen, it was actually an unfortunate amateur mistake.
Yeah, it was a very.
It was excellent.
Fight, Oliveira and Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee missed weight for the fight, and he says he's going to reevaluate things now after the fight. He might take a couple of years off from the sport. I don't know, man. He's a young guy. He's a young guy with a lot of promise, just 27 years of age, but he bounced around, moving to he came here to Montreal. He started training at TriStar. He's trying to find himself as a fighter, finding different camps. I guess he feels like it didn't work this time. Look, he ran into a tough guy in Charles Oliveira. These things happen. Damian Maia ran into a tough right hand by Gilbert Burns. Oh, my goodness. Durinho was pretty
Who would have
hard
thought
there.
that?
Yeah, I mean,
I told you.
Two jiu-jitsu guys, you thought Durinho was going to knock him or was going to submit him. You didn't say he was going to knock him out. No one predicted the knockout.
I didn't think he was going to knock him out. No,
that was crazy.
You're absolutely right. And that was crazy. But you know what? It just goes to show you. And I keep saying this all the time. People get the they get the wrong idea about grapplers. Most grapplers know how to stand up, but not all stand-up guys. And that's what people keep forgetting. Just because you're a grappler doesn't mean you can't stand up. A lot of these guys have Muay Thai and boxing backgrounds along with their jiu-jitsu and wrestling background as well.
Yeah, but come on, man. How many grapplers do you see?
Come on, man. That was a solid hit.
There's a lot of grapplers. Yeah, sure. I mean, Gilbert Burns can hit, but, there's a lot of grapplers that you see that, they're really good on the ground, but then when they stand up, it's not so bueno. Come on. Let's be honest here.
Look, you could say that about Khabib.
Yeah.
Khabib doesn't have, but you know what? He has one knockout in his career. And you know what? He can still exchange. It's not the best boxing, but the thing is that he knows how to work it to his advantage to do what he needs to do, take the guy to the ground. But what I'm trying to say is he can fluctuate.
On the moon on April 18th when Khabib and Tony Ferguson land on the moon. Tony Ferguson, El Kakui is gonna choke Khabib Nurmagomedov. He's gonna get him to tap. The tap is coming, baby. You saw what happened to Kevin Lee and Charles Oliveira this weekend. Khabib is gonna dive in for that single leg, and Tony Ferguson's going to be ready with those long arms.
Nah.
Boo. There goes a choke, baby. El Kakui time if the fight happens.
Listen, if the fight happens. But Dave, like we've been fighting on this. I'm still going with the Dagestan boy,
I need
Khabib,
this fight to happen,
who's
man.
been fighting bears. He's been fighting bears since 7 years old. He can go 5 rounds and make mistakes. But Ferguson is going to get choked out like Conor did. And it's going to be, I'm not going to say it's going to be in the first rounds, but around the 3rd, 4th round, when Ferguson starts to slow down a bit, it's going to be over.
How about
Khabib
this?
is going to win this.
How about this, AJ? Let's make a deal, okay?
Bagels.
If Khabib, well, we already bet a dozen bagels on this fight, did we not?
Oh, did we? Yeah, we did actually.
Yeah. I got Tony Ferguson.
And cream cheese.
Yeah, look,
and cream cheese.
If we're still under this lockdown, social isolation thing, you can mail me the bagels, okay? Now, but if Tony Ferguson and Khabib fight on April 18th, can we sit next to each other and watch it? Like,
of course, man.
Like, could you come here and watch the fight? Well,
I'll come and watch the fight.
But look, if
suits
Khabib
if we have
Tony,
to. But you know what?
We'll wear masks, we'll wear hazmat suits, whatever we have to do. But if Khabib and Tony Ferguson are allowed to get into an octagon and fight each other, they're not socially isolating. If that fight goes down, you and I are gonna watch that fight together. Okay, we'll figure it out, man. It's happening.
That's it, man. Let's do it.
All right. We're not.
No kissing. We'll do it.
Yeah.
We'll be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah. All right. And we'll have like a lot of alcohol to kill whatever germs is in the air, right?
Jägermeister, that's the secret.
Very drunk. We're gonna drink the Russian vodka, no, or whatever Tony.
No,
Ferguson
I told you,
drinks.
Jägermeister.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff.
Ferguson probably drinks a $2 Chuck. I don't know.
No,
I doubt he's drinking like
a Modelo.
He's not drinking like vodka from Russia.
No, he's drinking like beer or something, like a Corona. We'll drink Coronas. How about that? Let's drink Coronas,
okay, why not?
man. I heard they're good for you or something. I don't know. I keep hearing health Corona. I don't know. Who knows, man? I'm not paying attention.
They're good for the libido.
Look, the most important thing is you need to watch Dave and Johnny live. Friday afternoons, 12:30. The other thing is you need to watch Wrestling Uncensored. It's going to premiere on the YouTube channel like normal, Saturday morning, 10 a.m. You could listen to the show on TSN 690. You could watch it on YouTube, ringsidereport.net. We're going to figure out how WrestleMania is going to go on. WWE,
Oof.
everybody goes, hey, maybe we shouldn't have WrestleMania this year. WWE goes, oh, yeah? Hold my beer. We're going to do 2 nights. What? Are you crazy, Vince? Vince is the best. What a madman. So that's the deal. We're wrapping this show up. AJ, we did it, man.
What?
We did a show via satellite. Can you imagine this?
Screw you, Corona. You can't stop our show.
Screw you, Corona. And get it together, nerds. Solve this thing, okay? I'm not going to solve it. I'm not smart enough. I'm just a dumb fight guy. I know how to choke people, and that's about it. I need the doctors and the scientists to put their heads together and solve this thing, all right? Close all the borders.
Good. Well said, Dave.
All we can do, us dummies, okay, is we stay indoors, we wash our hands, we socially isolate, and we try and make the best of it, okay? We try and have a good time. We try and exercise. We try and do whatever we can do to stay safe and stay positive, man. Take care. Brush your hair. Wash your hands. Don't talk to strangers.
Gargle.
AJ, thanks.
Yeah,
man.
Dave.
Freddie, I know you're out there.
Hey, buddy, that was awesome.
Freddie, I know you're out there watching. I love you, brother. We'll see you
Freddie.
again. We'll see you again real soon. I think next week we're going to do this thing via satellite with you and Fred all at the same time. Is that possible? We can do that. There's a button.
Yeah, sure it's possible. Listen, Papa Simon can get anything done.
Oh, but I'm not there now. No, I'm not there. Yeah, okay.
Our production team.
That was a test to see, but I wasn't there. It was like a blank Fred and then just AJ. Didn't quite work. That's okay.
That's okay. We can figure it out by next week.
Look, we're figuring out all this technical stuff. The producers are working with us. Everything's going well. The Ringside Report Network is still on the air. We're still alive. We're still corona-free. Corona-free since 1985, all right? Living that life.
Yeah.
All right?
Oh,
so,
living the dream, buddy. Living the dream.
All right, so everybody stay safe out there and stay home, okay? Yeah,
Dave, and don't forget, listen, like you were saying earlier, just in case people didn't hear, any fighter or whatever needs some help with their their T-shirt selling or whatever, Ringside Report there is to help you. So just give a shout out to Dave or send him a text, a message, whatever, through our Instagram account, Facebook.
Yeah.
Straight through ringsidereport.net. Get in touch with Dave and we'll promote your stuff.
Like I said, just do it.
What's that?
The easiest way to reach me is to send me a message on Twitter or Instagram at Dave Simon MMA. If you want to reach me, that's how you do it. Don't email me. Don't text me. Don't do any of these things. Twitter or Instagram.
I can't give the phone number.
No, please stop giving my phone number out in public, AJ. I know you already gave Johnny Walker my phone number. He didn't call, by the way.
Well, no kidding. He's still suffering the loss, man.
That's right. And
Think about it.
I don't think Johnny Walker's coming back to Canada because he's, from Brazil, and he's in Brazil. Why would he come back to Canada now, especially considering the travel restrictions? I don't think he can come back to Canada. So I don't know if we'll have Johnny Walker in studio anytime soon, AJ. You might have to give up on that dream, brother.
Maybe we'll bring in Faraz or something.
All right.
Or George.
RingsideReport.net is where you want to be. We're not bringing anybody in right now. The studio is shut down. I'm the only one allowed in this studio. AJ and Johnny North and Freddie are all going to be joining me via satellite for the time being until this corona thing is figured out. RingsideReport.net. In the meantime, AJ, thank you for joining us via satellite. Thank you to everybody for watching and listening. Thank you to everybody helping us out on the radio side as well. For Freddie Garcia, follow him at Freddie MMA. For AJ DeLesio, follow him at Danny Bruck. For me, I'm Dave Simon at Dave Simon MMA. This has been, say with me now, Ringside Report.
Hashtag.